Press.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Jezebel and the Jester. I'm Jezebel.
I'm the Jester.
And we're so happy that you're here. You're probably noticing something a little different.
There's been some changes.
Can you tell? Can you guys tell what's different? As you can see, we're in a new location.
We're in Studio B.
Studio B. Yeah. Yeah, we're
now
in
Studio A.
Now Studio A. This was always our backup plan, but it should have been. But anyways, there's been some changes. We changed our studio. I want to brag. I do want to brag.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go for it.
It was a very last minute change. We were not expecting it. And so we got news on Sunday, and then we had to figure out, today's Thursday, because we record on Thursdays. We had to figure out how to decorate my living room in 4 days. And we did it.
It happened.
We did it.
And it turned out pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Like, look at this stuff. I'm very happy. And we did throw in a little bit of some cult stuff because you guys know that's what I'm into. So yeah. So I'm really happy with it. I'm very, very happy with it. It was, if you guys knew.
Yeah.
The struggle.
Oh yeah. It's been a struggle.
It's been a struggle.
For sure.
Oh my gosh.
But it's worth it though.
It was.
Here we are.
Because we were literally like, I painted the wall. By the way, first time ever painting a wall in my life. And so I was like really nervous that this was going to be really difficult. And it was really difficult, but it was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was so worth it.
Yeah. It looks, I mean, I'm a bit biased, but it looks fucking good.
It does look fucking good. I think that we did a phenomenal job for 4 days.
Yeah,
so this was
notice.
this was literally a white wall. That's it.
We should put up a picture of the wall.
Absolutely. I have 2 of them. So you guys can see.
We'll put up a picture.
It was just a white wall.
It was a white wall.
That's it. And then everything else we did literally in 4 days. And we didn't even have.
But you painted today.
Oh yeah, I painted today.
4 days.
No, you're right. Yeah, 1 day for real. Yeah, I primed it the day before yesterday. I primed it yesterday, but I painted both coats today.
Yeah.
Afternoon.
Yeah.
So after the first coat, we went and shopped for all this shit, and then we came back and just randomly did it. Like we didn't even have a vision quite yet. Like we did, but it didn't turn out at all like what we thought. Anyways, it was. Yeah. It was fun. That was fun. It was stressful. We're not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. We were both
a
flustered.
bit stressful. But we made it happen.
Dude, while we were putting stuff up, we're like, God, are we going to be able to record later? Because I'm exhausted. We're so tired.
Yo.
But now that we're here, I feel so much better.
Yeah.
Do you feel better?
I feel good.
I feel good. It was like, it's like all that trial and tribulation for the promised land.
It
you know?
out,
It worked out. So
you go through that struggle. And then it makes the final product so much more worth it.
It does.
It does.
I haven't done a project like this before, so this is like a big deal for me because I'm like this is the most adult shit I've ever done in my life, like set up a wall like this, like, and I pretty much was crazy as I like had this vision and it didn't really turn out exactly how I thought, but it's like better. It's so crazy. I'm like, I like it so much better than what I was thinking. Good. So anyways, now that we've went over our changes, welcome to our show. We're so glad you guys are back. We're so sorry that we missed a show and we missed you guys so much.
Yeah, that was tough.
It was a heartbreak moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally unexpected. Had a lot to do with the location, but it was just unexpected. Yeah. And
can we talk about what happened though?
Yeah, like if you want to go ahead and do it just because you think you know a little bit better.
I mean, we were filming obviously at Me Diet and still love Me Diet. Yeah. Like that's our spot. Marky's our girl. We failed to communicate when we wanted to record last Thursday.
Yeah.
And so there was a failure of communication. And so when we showed up expecting to record, Marky wasn't expecting us.
Yeah.
And so she had plans that she had made for the evening for her restaurant.
For the business,
for her,
correct.
Her food truck. And so she was going to be gone. And so there's going to be nobody there. to be with us while we recorded. And so we had to cancel. And so that's what happened last week.
Yeah.
And then fast forward to, what was it?
I think it was Sunday.
Sunday, Marky let us know that we wouldn't be able to record at the restaurant anymore, which is totally cool. It was like all on good terms.
It
like
was
I don't
good
want,
terms. Yeah.
all
We
on
don't
good
want you guys
terms.
to think that there was anything wrong. It just didn't work out. Like
Yeah,
it
for
wasn't
sure. Yeah.
like, and I think I could understand that, like having, and I even felt like, I was like, man, we're taking a lot of space, a lot of time. And so she was doing us such a huge favor and really launched us because she really helped us like get to where we're at.
Greatly appreciative.
For sure. So we don't want you guys to think we still love Me Diet. Okay.
Still the spot.
Still where we first hung out.
Sure.
Yeah. So nothing changed with that. But we were thinking that this is actually going to be it's more ideal for what we need.
It's just easier to schedule.
It's easier to schedule. It's my house. So literally we can schedule whenever we want.
Yeah.
We have all of the equipment here. Like it's just going to be easier.
It'll be easier.
So we're happy about it.
Yeah.
We're just happy this turned out okay. Cause
we had no idea what this was going to be.
We really didn't.
Yeah.
We really didn't, but we're happy with it.
Here we are.
But now that we've discussed and disclosed everything, got you guys up to date, it's been a week. We really needed to make sure that we, let you guys know what's up.
Yeah.
But we are going to be discussing some things that we posted on Instagram that we wanted you guys to interact with. And we got so much
there was a lot
interaction. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Remember when I made a big deal about the interaction? I literally was like, oh my God, I posted something you guys didn't interact. And then I posted something else and it wasn't very much interaction again. But this one really got people.
It did,
yeah.
for
So
sure.
we're gonna put this into two.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be long-winded.
Yeah.
Especially the red flags.
Yeah.
I feel like that's gonna be the long-winded one. So we're gonna discuss red flags, green flags. We're discussing red flags. That's a red flag is what we're talking about today. And well, firstly, I just want to go over what I feel like we should go over what our red flags are.
Okay. I really wanted to write them down, but I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. I didn't have time, honestly. I'm going to be real with you guys.
You had the time. I had the time.
Why you got to call me out?
You had the time.
Why you got to call me out?
Look.
Okay, fine. I had the time. But also, we know what it is. I feel like I know what my red flags are. I think we talked about it briefly in one of our last episodes. But my biggest one is like the idea. The biggest one for me is the idea that they don't even like want to invest or even believe in mental health.
Yeah.
So whether that be going to therapy, medication, whatever it is, that's my biggest red flag. Because I feel like everyone's gone through trauma. Everybody has gone through trauma.
Everybody.
Yeah. And to think that you don't need any sort of help for that is it's a major red flag for me. Yeah.
So, and that's a deal breaker for you or no?
I think it's not a deal breaker if they're not in therapy, like if they're not doing something for their mental health, but it would be if they think that that's like baloney. Does that make sense? Like if they're just like my late husband was like that, like where he just thought like all those things didn't exist. Like therapists were just not like, they were just basically giving you what you wanted to hear. But also remember, we were counseled by the word of God. And that was the only thing we were able to be counseled by. So there was not a lot of mental health tips in the Bible. So, yeah.
And so red flags can be warning signs, essentially is what they are.
Yeah, they're warning signs.
But there are red flags that can be deal breakers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's another one of your deal breaking red flags?
I would say now like overly religious.
Religious.
Like having faith or having like spirituality or even having a religion. Like let's say you're any religion. I don't discriminate, but when you're like over the top to where you're trying to control me, then that's absolutely a deal breaker. Yeah, for sure. Misogyny is a deal breaker.
Misogyny.
Yeah.
What's misogyny?
Oh, like just the absolute hatred towards women. Yeah. So like, just thinking women are not equal with men and that we belong in the home and we shouldn't be, that kind of stuff really.
I know somebody like that.
Yeah. I know a few people like that. I know some people like that. But yeah, like gender roles and like control, being controlling and stuff like that. So I think that's my another Yeah, those are deal breaker red flags. There's also like red flags where I'm like, you know, like the WYD text. That's a red flag for me.
That's a red flag.
For sure. Yeah. If it's a friends with benefits, it's not a red flag. But if it's like you're trying to like date this person, hang out with this person, get to know this person, a WYD is like the laziest thing that you could say to me. Yeah.
That's not a good look at all.
It's really not.
Yeah,
I like that you do it now because you know
I do it jokingly.
He literally texts me WID. I'm like, okay. It's because you know. It's because you know how much I hate it. But yeah, I mean, and it's not like I hate it. Like I just know when they text me that I know what it's gonna be. Like what they're thinking about. Yeah. Well, what are some of yours? Let's go over a deal breaker.
A deal breaker?
Yeah.
You want to know the first one that pops in my head?
What?
Smoking.
I knew it. I did know that.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I thought vaping, but smoking.
Smoking cigarette. Okay, smoking cigarettes or vaping, like nicotine vaping. If it's THC, if it's weed, I'm like, cool.
Yeah, like whatever. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool with me.
Yeah.
That's medicine. But like smoking cigarettes, number one, can't do.
Yeah.
Can't do.
I agree.
And then vaping, like vaping, I tried it. I tried it a couple times. Not me, but I've tried dating women that have.
Oh, I thought.
No,
No, okay.
I have. I've
Yeah.
tried vaping before, but it's nothing for me.
Yeah.
It's
nothing.
awful.
It is.
It's awful.
I don't
understand what people get out of it.
I don't either. I think they
doesn't make
just
any
like
sense
the
to me.
look of the smoke. Like
No, I don't know. That
Yeah,
ain't-
no, like
I mean,
people
some
just-
people might,
yeah.
but they have to. They
and
get something
for sure,
out of
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, it's like the idea. It's like the routine of it, and like the puffing and the big smoke clouds and it's weird. Yeah, I don't. Not that you're weird if you do it, but it's just not something for me either.
Nah, yeah. I try. And like I
tried
said, I've dated a couple women that did it, and I tried to be okay with it, but I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely.
Wait, what
a
kind
deal
of
breaker
vapes did
for
they have?
me.
Like the really big, like
There was
battery
one that
ones?
had the fucking. It looked like a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, it's
I was
huge.
Like, fucking what the? What is
It's like
that
a machine.
thing?
Like, what
Yeah,
are you
for
doing
sure.
with that? Yeah.
Then one had like a little disposable, and she
Okay.
would call it her cigarette, and that made it worse. Where's my
Oh,
cigarette?
like a jewel, like a
Yeah.
tiny
And
one.
Not gonna lie, one time I hit it.
Yeah.
I hit it, and
Yeah.
she was fucking panicking, like walking around the house, like looking for it. And I was like, "Yeah, I can't."
She was panicking.
like
Yeah, like-
mildly, but like
where's
looking
my
for it.
like where's my keys when you're late for
Yes,
work? But like
where's my
looking
cigarette?
for
Like you need that shit. And I was like, I really,
Yeah,
I really
yes.
can't.
Okay.
It's a deal breaker for
That's
me.
fair. Yeah, that's a very
Yeah.
fair one. And also, I like I think it smells gross, but also like someone that's doing it, like I don't want to have to deal with that when they get lung cancer because
Yeah.
I've had family that's passed away from lung cancer from smoking, and so now I'm like that's for me. It's more triggering. Like I don't want to deal with someone that it doesn't care about their health at all to that point, you know. So
You are greatly increasing your chances of
getting cancer.
getting lung cancer.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah, so
Yep,
yeah,
that's
that's
another reason why.
I get that's a definite red flag. What is there any other deal breakers that you
Deal breaking red flags.
Yeah.
Not being open minded, I guess would be one.
Okay.
If you're so set in your ways and you won't even entertain other viewpoints or say that, oh yeah, no, that makes sense, yeah, I hear you, you know. If you're just so closed-minded like that, I can't. That's a deal breaker for men and women.
Yeah.
For male friends or women that I'm interested in. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not open-minded,
Like you can't even
can't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
There's some
No.
core values I feel like people can't be open-minded on. Like I don't agree that they shouldn't be open-minded, but like if it's a core value like some, I don't know, like something religious is what I always think about because
What about abortion?
That's what I literally was thinking that. How
Yeah.
weird. So if it's like a core value of theirs, like, hey, I don't want someone that thinks that the government should have control over my body. Then I feel like that's you can't really be open-minded about something like that because it's like your body, right? So like I can see not changing your mind about
Yeah.
that. But if it's like, like, oh, I don't know, like I can't even think of one that you could be open-minded about something, maybe political, like oh, okay, I can see why this candidate would say this rather than being completely like one-sided and that's it. That also bothers me though.
Stand that shit.
I can't. I'm like, how
it.
brainwashed are you that you
hate
can
it.
only go one side or the other?
Yeah.
Like you need to expand the knowledge of what's going on and then make a decision from there.
Yeah, exactly.
I always say I'm more like people say they're more independent, but I'm like, do you know what that means? Like you actually have to look at what's going on. So that stuff I can see being more open-minded. But yeah, if people are not, if they're like one side or the other, I can't do that either. It's too much. It's too much. But what about, so as far as like red flags, they're just warning signs.
Warning signs?
Warning signs.
You want to know my favorite warning sign?
What's your favorite?
If her toilet paper's upside down.
Stop it.
Yo.
I can't with that. You've mentioned that before.
Biggest warning sign ever.
Okay, first of all, I need you guys to let us know which way you put the toilet paper on your roll, and Ernest will judge you, just so you know. There's only one way.
There's a right way and then there's a wrong way.
So there's a diagram from a very long time ago. Have you seen it?
It's the patent.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
And it's over the top.
Yes, correct.
Yes, so that is the correct way to do it.
That's the correct way to do it, according to them. But how can you say that's the right way if it works for somebody else?
What do you mean? It's not about what works or what doesn't. It's
the
right or wrong.
Way.
It's how it's designed.
It's the right way but it's toilet paper.
I don't think that are people putting it upside down intentionally. I think it's more of like a lack of attention to detail. They're just throwing it on there and don't really care which way it goes. I'll just deal with it coming from the bottom. Because it's not convenient coming from the bottom. It's not easy to tear. You can't see how many rolls you're getting. It's like not. It's not.
I'm
it's
trying
not
to
ideal.
think of. I'm trying
it's
to think
not
of
ideal.
how.
It's not ideal.
You know what's not ideal is when you go to a public restroom and it comes from the side. You know, like in the big rolls, and you have to like. That's not convenient.
From the side.
You know what I'm talking about? Like they have like a public restroom. Okay, they have like those big things that have two big rolls in them, and they have like things on the bottom of each side, and the roll has to go this way, and you can't like do this because it rips. Yeah, no, that annoys me. That annoys me.
It's the same idea.
Is it?
It's the same idea. If you look, if the toilet paper is upside down, I'm questioning things. It's not a deal breaker, obviously.
No,
maybe
of course.
it was like a one-off, like
maybe they were in a hurry.
Yeah, whatever it is. I'll change them. If I go over somebody's house and the toilet paper's upside down, I'll flip it around.
I'm literally gonna put my toilet paper upside down.
I'll flip it around.
Every time you come over, I'm gonna be like, oh, just that restroom right over here.
I'll
put mine normally, but the guest restroom I'll put upside down.
Help you out real quick.
Yeah.
Clearly, you just were in a rush. I got it for you.
I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's an interesting one. I will say that.
What about you? What's a warning sign for you?
A warning sign, honestly, like, well, the WYD is a warning sign, and then I would say like
pink flags. Is that what we were gonna call them?
Yeah, pink flags. Yeah, like they're not quite red.
Not quite.
But they're like, not great. I would say, yeah, for me, definitely would be the WYD. And then what else? Oh, like not being committed to a time. So like, I understand people have things that happen, right? Yeah. Yeah. Actually, this is actually a deal breaker for me. This is a deal breaker for me.
You need to upgrade that motherfucker.
Yeah, it's a deal breaker. Like if we make plans and like it's specific plans and like we've already set the time and like the everything, like, hey, where are we gonna meet, whatever, and then like you text me. If you text me like that morning and we're gonna meet at night and it's like, hey, something came up, I'm so sorry. I would be a little like. But that would be a red flag. Yeah. More of a red flag, right? But if you do that an hour before, 30 minutes before this, like, no. Yeah. Because like unless you're in the hospital or you were in a car accident, like something really detrimental happened. But if you like made plans with me and then you cancel them like really soon before.
I've seen that wrath before. Yeah, I've seen what that can do to you. I
cannot do it. It just makes me feel like I'm not a priority at all. Mm-hmm. And like, I'm just if I have time, I'll go hang out with them, So it's like, and I get that when you're going on a first date, but it's like, make an effort, make a good first impression.
What are your intentions on this first date?
Exactly. Yeah. Well, what are theirs if they're canceling?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what are what are you aiming for here? Because
Right.
if you stand somebody up or if you cancel at least on the first date, like there's no future there.
Right.
Like
That's a bad first impression.
That's not a
That's
good
a
look.
terrible first
That's
impression.
not. Have you ever stood somebody up like 100% just
No.
left them?
No, I mean, okay, so I've left in the middle of a date before, but I've never like
You
canceled.
never stood somebody up.
If
Not even canceled. Like didn't even say nothing.
I'm trying to think like I think maybe I rescheduled, but I never canceled. So I was like, hey, and it wasn't like really set in stone either. It was like, hey, do you want to hang out? And then like we discussed a time frame, but no like plans were made, right?
Yeah.
If plans are made, I don't know if they made those plans or if they like put something into it. So I'm not going to cancel, you know. But if it's like a reschedule, I'll do that. But it has to be like, if first of all, if I made plans with you,
Consider yourself lucky.
yeah,
First
because
and
I don't,
foremost.
like I'm busy.
My time is valuable.
like-
Hold on.
Yeah.
Fucking time is money, homie.
Yes.
What are you talking about?
Absolutely. I literally think the same thing every time. I'm like, I'm so fucking busy that I can't keep up with like someone that's completely inconsistent. And so it's just
Fuck
pointless
that
to me.
shit.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
It's just pointless to me. So, which is weird because I didn't used to be like that. I used to be like any attention was good attention. All I cared about was
Then
attention.
you learn how to value yourself.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
a whole nother.
up that-
Then you learn
up that
about red
value.
flags and
Up
deal
that
breakers.
value. Yeah.
But no, but the red flag thing, like that would be definitely a red flag. And then a deal breaker would be like you're canceling or like, let's say you gave me enough time, but you're canceling consistently or like the second time, I'd be done.
You get two cancels. Two cancels, it's a wrap.
It's a
like
wrap.
for me, 2 unanswered text messages.
Done.
Done
deal.
deal. Yeah, I'm not gonna
Wow.
waste my time.
Yeah. How long do you give them in between texts?
I don't know. I guess that would vary. I don't know. But if I kid you not, if I send one text, like a good morning, and it doesn't go unanswered, and it's like the next day,
Yeah, you said a good
or,
morning text, right?
or like a whatever. Hey, what are you up to? Something.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes like boom, done.
Yeah.
2, yeah, done.
That's it.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Even if you really liked them, like
yeah, oh yeah,
really.
Yeah. Oh, I don't play.
No, good for you. You shouldn't.
Nah.
You shouldn't.
I've done it before, and
Yeah.
I seriously
regretted
have.
it.
I've gone like, yo, I don't, and I'll say I don't usually do this, but I think you're pretty dope. But like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, I like to know.
Yeah.
I like to be in the know, like what the fuck happened,
Yeah.
because it's tough to be in the dark about
Right.
what went wrong here.
I should have
you know?
seen that come in one time with a situationship. We hung out in. This was like a year and a half ago or whatever. What are we in right now? We're in, so not this January, but the January before. That's when we met. And then like we hung out, whatever. And then, and he lived in California. So it's not like it was right here, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, like he's, you know, in another state. It's fine. He's not texting me. But it went like almost 3 weeks. We had hung out like 2 times already. And like we were like really getting along. And he hadn't talked to me in 3 weeks. And I was like, okay, this guy hates me. Like there's you don't not text someone that you enjoyed spending time with for 3 weeks. But then he texted me back later, like the 4th week, and he was like, hey, I'm so sorry I was MIA. I've just been going through a lot. So at the time, I didn't understand that like that's such a cop out for anything, right? I get it. Mental health is like a big thing for me. So I get when you get in your depressive states or whatever. But if you're like talking to somebody and they mean something to you, which is what it made it seem like it was.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you tell them like, hey, I'm going through a really like
Just
rough
a
time.
heads up.
Heads up.
Yeah.
I may not be as responsive to text messages.
Yeah.
I'm going through some things.
Yeah.
Okay. And we weren't exclusive. So I'd understand, right?
Yeah.
3 weeks though. And I let it come back. I was like, okay, no worries.
No problem.
You know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. I get it. I understand things happen.
As soon as they started making what was it? You make time for the things that are important to you, right? And so when women would say, "Oh, I'm busy," I'm like, "Yo, I'm also busy."
Yeah.
But if I'm willing to make the time, if you're not willing to make the time, then fucking all right, let's peace out. Let's be done.
Let's just be done.
It's no big deal.
Yeah.
But if I'm important to you, or you're trying to say that I'm important to you, yet you're not making the time, then that says it right there that I'm not that important to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men and women out there, if somebody is not making the time for you, fucking leave them and go find somebody who does.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. Like that. That is the most annoying shit to me. It continuously giving somebody like chance after chance after chance to try and prove themselves when constantly they're showing you who they are.
Yep.
Believe them.
Right.
Period.
And that's literally such a good point, because with that whole situationship, after he came back, and we literally saw each other for like almost an entire year after that. It was like 10 months, 11 months of like us seeing each other. And he just stopped, kind of dropped off the face of the earth. And it was like, okay, he did that once though.
Yeah.
So like, why didn't I expect it again? You know? So that's what I'm saying. The very first time they do that now, if they ever like went weeks and weeks without texting me and not said anything, I was supposedly something special to them. Absolutely not. Because I wasn't.
Weeks.
No way.
I can't believe you said weeks.
3 weeks.
It depends on the vibe, but if you're going days without messaging.
This was my first time ever being with someone after my late husband.
Okay, so you were still learning your ways.
It was, oh man, I was like literally learning my ways. Yeah, because we weren't like, we weren't even separated. Well, we were separated, but we weren't even like separated as far as like where we were living. So he was still living in my room, in another room. I was living in that room, and I was seeing this person. It was the literally very first person I ever saw after my marriage.
Wow.
So it was, I was totally learning. I was learning everything. I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Like I'm still learning I'm unlearning. I'll say that.
Oh,
yeah.
Ooh, that's heavy.
Yeah, I'm unlearning.
That's heavy.
Yeah, I'm for sure unlearning
learning things and unlearning things. For sure.
Because there was so much ingrained in me, like for so long, and to like unlearn all of those things and then try to relearn who I am and what I like and all that. So my red flags seem like probably they didn't seem as big a year ago. Like I'd be like, oh, like if they did this, it'd be fine. And then now I'm like, if they did that, that would not be okay. You know?
Good for you.
So you definitely learn a lot.
Good for you.
Yeah, you learn a lot through it.
It's all about that like self-worth.
It really is self-worth.
It
is. Like it's like, no, I'm worth having someone that wants to text me back all the time. Or I'm worth somebody that wants to come see me.
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest thing that I kept thinking about with that guy was I was like, well, he kept coming to see me from California. Like he kept making trips out here to see me. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that whatever. And then it's funny because then my ex did the same thing. And I'm like, why do I think that? But just because they're going to drive to another state that it's like they're making that much time to see me. Like they're probably doing that with other women.
So
you know?
That's not enough.
I guess not. I mean, 2 times. Like seriously, 2 times from California.
But from the outside looking in, like you would imagine, like, oh damn, they're fucking.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said.
But that's not something that you're saying. That's not something that you can hold on to as
being enough to
as you being a priority. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't now because it seemed as if I was to these other 2 and I was absolutely not. So isn't that interesting? Because you would think that traveling out, but I've heard on podcasts guys say before that that's not even a big deal for them. Like that's not. Didn't you say one time you like flew out to see a Tinder date?
I did.
Yeah.
Wait,
was it a Tinder date?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Like you were saying on the podcast before, like I just flew out to, it's not a big deal for people to just.
That was super random, but that's like maybe, but that was like some. I love doing random, spontaneous shit. Like I love spontaneity. Fucking just gets my juices flowing.
I know it does.
Yeah,
I understand.
And so that kind of scratch that itch.
Maybe that's what it was for them too. Maybe they
sure.
just loved the spontaneity and then that was it. Like that's all they liked, or like just the idea.
Yeah.
But either way, like that. I mean, it's not that it wouldn't be appreciated. Like it would be if it was like another state or whatever, and they were coming to visit me. I absolutely would appreciate that. Like I'm not going to be a bitch about it.
What about another country?
Well, absolutely. If it was another, but I wouldn't do that because I could never. I could never. That's just my personality type, though. I could never.
Why couldn't you ever?
I'm too clingy. I'm too I want them to be here with me, doing life with me. Yeah. So like that's too hard for me to
it's
separate.
hard for me too.
I know it is.
Yeah.
And I watch you and I'm like, I can't do that. So I commend you. I commend you. I commend you. That would be a red flag if someone from another country. And I'm just kidding. It wouldn't be a red flag.
Yeah.
But
hold on.
Okay.
Should we get into these comments that we got?
No, for sure.
Let's get into these
comments
and see what some of these red flags are, whether or not we agree with them.
Okay.
Another red flag is if she hates her job.
Okay.
Like hates her job. I can't. That's on my list. She must like her job.
She must like her job.
I'm not gonna say she must like her job, but she
maybe like her like when she's passionate.
Hate her job.
Right. What if she's passionate about the type of job she has, like what she's in, but the actual place of employment sucks?
I don't know. It'd have to be like a case by case basis.
Because like if she was a pharmacist, that's a great job, right?
Yes.
Loves her job. She works at CVS, hates it.
I mean, hates it. Right? But then why don't you leave?
Well, I mean, because it's not that easy for, but sometimes it's not that easy.
Sometimes it's not. Yeah.
Like, so if there's like a great opportunity somewhere, you apply for it. How many other people applied for it? Yeah. So you just kind of stay where you're at until you can figure it out, right? Yeah. But if I feel like for me, I'm kind of the same way because I want them to be driven in some sort of aspect of their life.
Not being driven?
Yeah.
Deal breaker.
I can't. You know what's become a deal breaker for me?
Deal breaker.
Like they have to go to the gym.
Oh, well,
yeah.
I mean,
which is so weird. Yeah, because that wasn't like a huge thing.
I don't know if I can say that that's a deal breaker.
No, it would be for me because I need the push to go. Like I want to go with someone. I don't want to just.
Is it the gym or if let's say they don't go to the gym, but they run.
Oh, they're super active.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I just need them to be active and that we're both active together, whether they go running and I go to the gym. Like, I just want to know that we're going to be healthy together.
Do you want to go to the gym with your partner?
I would love to go to the gym with my partner. Like, I would actually, if I could have anything, I would love to power lift with my partner. That would be like the ultimate dream. Yeah. But like going to the gym is just fine. Like going and working out together, like motivating each other. That shit, I love that shit.
Yeah, it's good shit.
Yeah. So that's what I want. So if anybody,
if you're out there, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal
for sure. Just exercise. I guess if everything was perfect and she didn't want to go to the gym, that'd be all right as long as she was active in some way.
Yeah, active. Okay, as long as she's active.
But
it's important to me now. It didn't used to be.
I lucked out.
Yeah, you really did. You know, I hope I find somebody that will go to the gym with me. Who knows? Probably not. No, I'm just kidding. At the rate I'm going. Anyways, so we're going to talk about your guys' red flags some of y'all went ham on this.
Yeah.
Full essays.
Went in.
You know what?
Yeah.
Also, though, the ones that went in with green flags too. So I'll have to say that they went pretty.
Look for the green flags next
time. We'll look for the green flags. But we're gonna go through some of these, okay? And we're gonna see if we agree or disagree with some of these. So, poor manners or inconsiderate of others in general, disrespectful to the service industry.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Ooh, that reminds me of another potential deal breaker.
What's
if
that?
I were to notice that a woman didn't put her shopping cart back,
okay, that's a deal breaker.
Oh,
Ernest.
Yeah. It's a small thing that would eventually become something bigger. It shows who you are on a larger scale as opposed to just that small thing. But being rude to wait staff, that's a fucking deal breaker.
That's a deal breaker for me. That's more than a red flag for sure.
Oh,
if you can't be nice to people in public, you have some issues and there's some anger.
No fucking way I want to deal with you.
Absolutely not. Okay, so we both can agree with that one. That one's good. Doesn't like dogs. Absolutely. That's a 100% yes from me. Yeah, that I can't. I can't. I mean, I have a dog, and she's crazy, as you've seen. And so today she was good, but she's crazy. Normally, I need someone that's okay with an energetic dog because she's attached to me for the rest of my life. Yeah. So if you don't like dogs, for the rest of her life, for the rest of her life. Oh yeah. But but if you don't like dogs, what about you? If that wouldn't be a red flag for you.
If you don't like dogs, I think it's definitely a red flag. Okay. Even though I'm not a huge dog guy and I don't own a dog, just because I don't have the time to take care of one. Yeah. But I love dogs. Okay. I love other people's dogs. Yeah. But if she were to be like, I hate dogs or I can't stand dogs, I'm like, ooh, that's
right. Like
that's a red flag.
Gentle creatures.
I'm not gonna say that it's a deal breaker, but it's I'd be like,
that's weird.
Who are you as a person? Dogs? Like what?
Like who doesn't like a cute like who doesn't like that?
It's worrisome. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that we're on the same page about that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Listen, the same person, the one that I've been reading, doesn't return shopping carts or to the cart corral when they're capable of doing so. Yeah. How
Put
funny!
That fucking shopping cart back.
From me to you, thank you for putting your shopping cart back. That actually does help the industry I'm in.
I can't believe or understand how people could just
leave it,
prop their shopping cart up on a fucking planter just like on a curb and just call it good. Like how can you walk back to your fucking car, just get in your car and drive home and not think about that shit for the rest of the day? Like, I could have just put that fucking shopping cart back.
Or the ones that I have seen someone put a shopping, because I work in a place with shopping carts. So I've seen someone put their shopping cart in a handicap spot. It was right next to them and they just like rolled it over there. And I'm sure they didn't know that it was a handicap spot, but that's why you should put it in the corral. Wow. So that doesn't happen. So I'm just like, man, someone could have been needing that spot. I mean, I obviously moved it, but still like I wanted to say something. I didn't though, because I didn't want to lose my job. So that's definitely on her list. So, okay, this is more for me, a religious or a cult member. Yeah. I mean, obviously the cult member part, but a lot of people don't know what cults really are.
I mean, but I feel like all religions are cults.
Cults. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. They are. They just people don't want to.
What's the definition of a cult?
I would say, well, culture is derived from cult. So the definition of a cult is like a group that has a very strong belief system, right? Which is what religion is. So yeah. But we should look up what it actually means, like the actual definition of it later. Hold on. The next one is misogyny. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Mansplaining.
Not a lot of men watch this podcast. I mean, there's a few. But
mansplain. Don't mansplain.
When that dude at the antique shop asked the lady if she wanted help wrapping that lamp.
Oh man, it's like she's the one that. Jesus, she works there.
I was like, bro, let the woman do her job. She's a
professional. But I mean,
I was like, he's over there mansplaining how to wrap this fucking lamp right now.
He was. It's like, you really want to make sure that you watch the top of the lamp. Like, she's like, I know. Like, I fucking know.
Get the fuck out of my face.
Let me work. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then she had a lot. So I'm going to go to the next person. The next one is,
wait, should we shout them out?
Oh yeah.
Would they care?
Actually, no, they won't. This is Unburying Me with VSG. I actually have chatted with this specific person about religion, like past religion experiences, cult experiences. They have a very similar, which is why they wrote the cult thing, I'm sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for posting so many. Yeah. There's so many on there. If you guys want to go to the post and read all of them, it's pinned on our Instagram at JezebelAndTheJester. You guys can go through all of them. We got a lot of really good responses. Yeah. Let's see. We're going to go through this next one. Oh, calling red flag says stuff like as the man or alpha or being a godly man or a king and a queen, lion and lioness. Do you call
if you call yourself alpha,
then you're not, right? Because let's not pretend that there's not such thing as an alpha, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But you can't
you don't go around telling everybody that you're an alpha, I guess.
My last
It's just not a good
situationship that we
look.
just talked about had
Yeah.
Alpha in their Instagram name. I should have known. I mean, I didn't know
You
any
didn't
better.
know?
I didn't know at that time. No, I wasn't understanding of that yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
not good.
No,
It's not a good
it's
look.
not a good look at all.
It's not a good look. Let's see. Okay, so that was from Never Say Never Fiona. Thank you so much. Then It's Mags 003. That's actually the one that met her husband on Tinder.
Okay.
Before your actual wait, we didn't understand this one. You didn't even tell us what the Pepsi challenge was.
Oh, the Pepsi challenge?
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Is that just drinking Coke and Pepsi? And then figuring out which one is Pepsi?
Yeah,
Because that's what I thought that's what it was.
We looked it up, and that's what it said it was.
Okay, anyways,
But I don't understand
we
the
didn't
context.
understand that one. Maggie, you're gonna have to get in on that. Red flag. This is from Becca, our friend Becca from I Got You Boot Pod. She says, they say all of their exes are crazy.
Oh yeah. And
That's
then
a
I
good
responded to that
all
one.
of them are.
All of them.
Or are
crazy?
you
Yeah.
the problem? That's actually like it on the first date, especially. They start talking about their ex like in a bad manner. You can talk about your ex.
Can you talk about your ex on the first date?
Yeah, well, I mean, if I like to ask, like, when was your last relationship, so that I know where they're at. If it was like 3 months ago and they were with that person for 10 years, like, you're not in a good spot to be like probably dating, right? Like seriously dating.
So a long-term, what would you consider a long-term relationship to be?
I'd say like over 2 years.
Over 2 years?
Yeah.
And so how long after a long-term relationship would you be comfortable dating somebody in potential to become long-term yourself?
Me personally?
Yeah.
Well, for my 10-year one, I didn't take very long, right? Because I was already mentally checked out for a while. But generally that happens in marriages. If it's a relationship, it's a lot easier to be like, hey, this isn't working out, and then just like break up, right? So if it was a marriage, like I can see them being mentally checked out before being divorced. So I'd say like a good 6 months after your divorce, you're probably okay, maybe a year.
Okay.
Because like, well, divorce is a big deal for people. It's in general, regardless of whether you wanted it or not. But I would say if it's like a relationship, like boyfriend, girlfriend, like I would say and you were together for over 2 years, like I'd say you need at least 6 months to a
6
year.
months?
Yeah, 6 months. I'd say 6
Okay.
months. Yeah. To be seriously considering getting back into it. Yeah. Even still though, like how over your ex are you?
Really though.
Yeah.
It really depends. And you certainly don't want to be the rebound. Yeah. Don't
That's
want
the
that problem.
worst. That would be the
Yeah.
worst feeling. So I would say, yeah, that's probably not. But like if they're talking about their ex immediately, like the first date, like when's your last relationship? Oh, it was like 6 months ago. I was with this crazy bitch. That immediately no.
Yeah. Immediately
no. That would be an
seen what I've needed to see.
And I'm gonna say no to that. Absolutely gonna say no to that. That's a big no for me. That was from Becca. Thanks, girl. I appreciate it. Let's see. Who else do we have here? So Lauren, my friend Lauren, Lauren 27, pushing for serious commitment too soon. So what's too soon?
Ooh, I just read about this in my book.
Oh yeah?
In my attachment book. Yeah.
What did it say?
touched on this. And it was a lot about making your intentions known as soon as possible, therefore not to waste any time with people who aren't on the same page as you.
Oh, okay.
And so what somebody would consider a red flag, I mean, if that's a red flag, then clearly you're on different pages and maybe you should move on.
Yeah,
but there's also that point to where, and they brought up one of their subjects that was a part of the book and a part of their study, who told the men that she was going out with, she was like, look, I'm looking to get married and have children immediately. Like right now, this is what I'm looking for. And eventually, she didn't waste her time with fucking dudes who weren't on the same page. And she found a man who was like, you know what? I appreciate how upfront you are and how honest you are and how straightforward you are. Let's do this. And she found her guy and didn't waste any time with dirtbags.
I don't think that that's a bad idea. I think and I don't know if this is what this person means. I have a feeling that maybe they do, is like the love bombing thing, where like they're immediately like absolutely in love with you. And it might not be.
Read it again.
Pushing for commitment too soon. So it was pushing for serious commitment too soon. Not the same thing? No, you're thinking
I
it's
feel
more...
like this person has an avoidant attachment style. So maybe they like to have their space, and anytime somebody's like wanting to commit, it makes them like back up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm like that. I'm not sure.
You read the
It
book.
depends.
Read
Yeah,
the
I'm gonna
book.
start reading that book. It's a good
survey.
one. Let's see. Rude to customer service was one of them. That actually got mentioned a lot. Rude to customer service was a big one. It got mentioned many a time.
Yeah.
Is the victim in every story about their exes? That's
interesting.
Yeah, the same thing.
The victim in every
story about their ex. Like my ex was awful to me, or they were terrible to me, and then my other ex was just like lying to me. And then I'm like, who are you picking?
Who?
Why are you picking these people?
Who? Your picker must be broken.
Your picker is broken. But that was from Unbroken _ L3, I think. Okay. So my friend Brittany, call me B, too involved in social media.
Ooh.
I would know that one. That one is real.
Oh, yeah.
That one is real.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. Because people
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
Maybe I should
Dial it back.
Yeah. That's why nobody wants to. They're like, oh, she's on her stories way too often.
Too much.
Way too much.
Yeah.
It's like my diary, guys. Okay, I don't do anything on there. I say the dumbest shit. Nobody cares about what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a good one because my ex. Let's just talk about that. My ex was a TikTok guy.
Yeah, a TikToker.
Very, very popular. A lot of followers.
Very,
he had a lot of followers.
He had a few followers for
just
TikTok.
A few.
TikTok followers are different than Instagram followers.
It is. I have more on TikTok.
On this. Yeah.
I have more followers on TikTok.
100,000 followers on TikTok isn't really that big of a deal. I don't think so.
Okay, well, he has like
I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know.
He has like
But
170,000, whatever. It doesn't matter. That's not a big deal.
No.
But one of his videos got like 4 million likes and it got 20 million views. So that's a pretty large number.
Whatever.
That's what he got famous from, is that one video specifically.
Okay. Don't say famous.
You're right. I'm
Relax,
sorry.
yo. She said famous.
He wasn't famous. Anyways, he wasn't famous. I'm just saying, as far as like being involved in social media, he was too much. And then I should have known. Like I looked at the comments, and I'm like, so many thirsty women on there. And when I looked at him, I didn't care. I was like, oh, he's mine. It doesn't matter.
Is that a red flag or what?
What, thirsty comments?
Yeah.
No, I don't think it is, because if you're attractive and you post yourself on social media, like you're probably gonna get comments, right? But I think mine was more like he was so about getting those comments or replying to them, a certain way at one point. Like after we had met, he wasn't replying to any of them anymore, but I saw how he was replying to them before.
Is being friends with your ex
a red flag?
Is a man being friends with his ex a red flag?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is.
Is it a deal breaker?
Well, no, not if it's a baby mama.
That's not what I said. No,
It's an ex.
Mama.
It's an ex.
Not a baby mama.
No, not a baby. No,
Nah.
if it would it be a deal breaker? I guess it would just depend on the circumstance. But it would most likely be a deal breaker for me, because like, why are you talking to them?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
Like, what was it? A childhood friend, and whatever. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, you guys dated and it didn't work out, and like, why?
Yeah.
If you're dating someone else, like, why would you think that would be respectful?
So let's say it was a childhood friend. They've known each other since elementary school, grew up together, and let's say high school or thereafter, they decided to date and see if there was something there, and there wasn't anything there, and they decided to become friends again.
Like, I guess it just depends on how long they were together and all of that, but. If it was like that serious, like they were childhood friends or moms or best friends, like stuff like that, what kind of friendship are we talking? Are we talking like you guys text each other and hang out and go get coffee? Because that's weird.
That's that bullshit.
Regardless. Yeah, that's weird regardless of how much of a childhood friend it is.
Yeah.
But if it's like you socialize with them at like gatherings and like, you talk to them like, hey, how's this? And that's fine.
Okay.
That wouldn't bother me.
I'm going to get coffee though.
don't be going get coffee.
Getting coffee
with your ex.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's coffee.
Come on now.
Come on, you guys are reminisce about some old shit. I don't want.
now.
Don't do that.
Yeah,
no,
don't
I
do
would,
that.
because I'm not friends with any of my exes.
Yeah.
Nor would I be.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's no. Let's see. Red flags. Only calls you after midnight.
Ooh.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a red flag.
Huge red
Yeah,
flag.
Midnight's even late. I would
That
say
is
like after
hella
like
late.
10.
Shit, for
9.
me, it's after 7.
7 p.m. You old man.
Call me after 7. Like,
Don't call me
out
after
of your
7. He's
mind?
like, I'm about to have supper.
Look, supper's done.
Oh, yeah, 4
I'm getting in
p.m.
my pre-bed shower at 7 o'clock. I'm in bed 7:30.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And then that was from Jennifer from Sunshine Smiles. So couch surfs. Why, girl? That would obviously be a red flag.
Well,
Well,
it just depends on the story. I've wanted to couch surf before. It'd be like an interesting life. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person.
no, it doesn't mean you're a bad person, but that's
Well,
not
see,
the
if I'm
lifestyle.
traveling around and I'm like,
If you're traveling, that's different.
There's a website that you can like
couch
look
surf.
for couch surfers or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're traveling though.
Uh-huh. Oh, you
That's
mean like
different.
If
You're just with
you're
the
just
homie.
home. You're
Yeah.
just home couch surfing.
Yeah, like if you're like going from
That's a
house to house
problem.
and your
That's
like your homies are letting you
yeah.
stay with them on their couch for
Yeah, that's a problem.
that's a big problem. Like why aren't you why are you in the circumstance that you're in? What's going on? Okay, so let's see. He's confused on his feelings for you, but treats you like he's in a relationship with you.
Oh,
That is the fucking worst.
oh, I've been there. I've done that before.
You piece of shit.
I'm sorry. I've done that before.
That's awful.
Yeah,
that's
it
the
is.
worst.
It's
But I get it.
not.
Like I get like that wanting that companionship, but it's like, okay, if you want it, then just fucking commit.
Yeah,
Like or
nah.
don't commit to me, commit to someone else because you obviously want that. You're looking for.
I've had commitment issues in the past. Definitely.
That's fair.
A lot of men do.
Most men do.
I
Most
feel
people
like-
do now. I feel like honestly,
Yeah, it's hard.
because
Social media makes it hard. Yeah, it's the devil. I hate it. I
You hate-
fucking
you
it.
hate social
If
media.
it wasn't a part of my business and a part of this podcast,
Yeah.
I wouldn't
yeah,
bother.
I know. But you have like 17 social media accounts now.
I have a lot, but I only use
You don't
like
use
3
them
of
that.
them.
Yeah, you don't, and you don't really. You're not on them a lot.
Yeah.
You're on like one for business, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much the one you're on, and then the
Yeah.
podcast one, like when we.
Then I touch on the podcast one every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Social media does kind of. I mean, I'm involved in it, but
Yeah.
it's tricky.
I hate it.
It's
I fucking
tricky.
hate it. I'll find myself on like scrolling through Instagram and I'm like, and I always say, this is not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
And I'll put my phone down.
There's actually
I fucking hate it.
There's a famous TikToker, and he is famous, like millions of followers. I think he's like 6.5 million followers.
Mm-hmm.
He's an incredible creator. He's hilarious. He's a comedian,
Mm-hmm.
and he just blew up. And then all of a sudden, I went on TikTok, and I don't go on that often anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I went on there, and I followed him for a long time, and he literally said, in the TikTok, first of all, he's standing in front of like a camera like this with lights on him. It's like a very serious subject almost. And he's like, I just want to let you guys know, like, I'm going to be taking a break for a little while. And I don't want you guys to think that anything happened specifically. I just want to let you guys know that I'm like going to come back. I just don't think that our life is supposed to be us on an app scrolling through 30, 60, 90-second videos and laughing, and then that's it. And then we go to the next video.
Facts.
And it just like rots your brain. You're just like, and I'm not against funny reels and stuff. Like I like creators that create content. That's why I got into it, because I'm like, oh, it's fun, and it's fun to create content. It's like something to let your creativity out. But when you're on the other side reciprocating that content, and all you're doing is scrolling, picture, video to video, like it gets to be a little much. And people do know it's a problem. They'll be like,
it is a problem.
Scroll on TikTok for hours, and they're like, I know I shouldn't.
I fucking hate it.
I know.
I hate it.
I know.
I hate it.
And it's so funny because like I don't watch TV, but you know why I don't watch TV? Because I would normally just scroll TikTok or Reels, and that is my TV. And my attention span is so fucked because it's like very short videos.
Yeah.
And that's why I can't pay attention to a long movie now because I'm so used to just spurts of dopamine.
I want to pay somebody to run my business's Instagram so bad.
Yeah.
And the fucking pot. If I could work that into my budget to pay somebody to run those two, I would fucking just say whatever to my personal and just delete Instagram altogether. Oh,
and just have someone else deal with it.
Oh, just the
warmth, thought of it.
Just the warmth and joy that came over my body just thinking about that shit.
It's so true. What happened? Oh, like what happened?
I just had like the split thought, like, did we fucking press record?
Oh my gosh. We're so traumatized.
Paranoid, just traumatized.
You guys, wait, before this is kind of really off topic. I know we're talking about red flags right now, but we were hanging things up and we were so excited about how everything looked and we're just getting everything ready. And then all of a sudden one of the bookshelves just pops out of the wall and it is so loud and there's breakable things on it. And we're like, oh, nothing broke. Thank God. But like every time something fell, like we're like, oh my God. Oh my God, something fell. Like we're so traumatized from everything. Like, so like the middle camera just turned off, but it's fine because we're recording on the other one.
Hopefully.
No, who knows at this point? We could just be doing this for fun at this point. Like, we're just chatting. We barely talked the whole day because we're so frustrated and trying to do stuff and we're trying to like concentrate. Shit. Anyways, okay, back to the topic because that's more fun. Let's see. Okay, so we have the Fat Nurse Diaries. When they are constantly on their phones and or never let their phone out of their sight, like taking it to the bathroom or when they're in the shower, for example. Yeah.
I mean, it's just right there with social media. But if you're latched onto your phone like that, like,
and you can't get off for a few minutes just to talk to somebody, that's really bad.
Problem.
That's really bad.
A problem.
I like make it a point to like put my phone away when I'm out with people and hanging out and talking to them because I know and people think this is a red flag, but it's not. It's more for my ADD. But when you turn your phone upside down because I can't see the notifications. But also people think, oh, you don't want me to see your notifications. And I'm like, no, you can look at them. I just don't, I can't because they'll just pop up and I'll see them and I'll get distracted. So I keep my phone down or I put it in my purse. Unless I'm like taking it out to take a photo or a video of us or something, like I'll post stuff like that on Instagram. Like I'm not going to lie. Like I'll, take pictures and stuff, but like I don't like to make it a thing that I just pull out during dinner or I think that's so rude.
Yeah.
Unless it's an emergency, right? Again, when is it really? Like, how often are we talking about emergencies?
Don't be on your phone. That's the biggest fucking turn off.
It is.
The biggest turn off.
It is. I remember one time my ex actually, when I was, he was showering in my room. Showering, I was on my bed. He left his phone, like, face up, unlocked. Mm-hmm. And I laughed about it because I was like, oh my, like, well, I thought it, at the time, like a fool. I was like, wow, he's leaving his phone out for me. Like I could look at it right now, look at his DMs on Instagram, go on his TikTok. I can do absolutely not.
Why not?
Cause I couldn't bring myself to do that. So that was at that time though. So he was showering, left his phone out. I'm like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And then after I found out all the stuff he did, he left his phone out again.
Like,
and I for sure looked at
now.
it. Yeah, I was like, and all I saw, I didn't go into any of the messages because like if you go in, it's red, right? So I'm like, I can't go into the messages. But like I looked at like the amount of messages from all these girls, like with like drooling emojis, heart eye emojis, fire emojis, like on his pictures, and I'm just like, ugh.
No shit.
Yeah, and I couldn't trust him after that, not because of that, but because of what he did, which was basically. Try to see other women and like doing that. Like it was just a shit show. But he left his phone and I thought, oh, he trusts.
Smooth move.
Such a trustworthy guy. But it was all a game.
Oh yeah.
It was a game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
He for sure knew what he was doing.
Yeah. Oh.
Anyway, so someone wrote, let me see where it's at. It was it was me. I wrote this.
It was
hi. It was actually me. I forgot that I wrote this. It's me. Military men.
Yeah. Why?
Okay,
It's just
so
because you've had a bad experience.
it was okay. Well, it was because I had a bad experience, but also the countless women that have had bad experiences with it, and the amount of times that military was mentioned on this. Well, I mentioned it, and then people like replied like, "Yes,
Yep.
absolutely yes."
Yeah.
And a lot of times it's because they're traveling around, right, and they're not ready for commitment.
I don't know if it's that so much as if it's
Or trauma.
the kind of men that the military attracts.
Yeah.
Is a certain type of male that just isn't suited for
Relationships.
long-term committed monogamous relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And traveling, being gone for a long time. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I was thinking is like it's hard to commit if you're constantly traveling. That was actually one of the conversations that I had with my ex was like he lived in California and then in like 6 months he was either going to stay in California or they could have deployed him to another state or whatever. And I was like, hey, what are we going to do when that happens? Like, do you have a plan of action? Because I was like, I don't want to waste my fucking time. That's where I was at.
I don't want to waste my fucking time.
Yeah.
That fucking time is
It's
precious.
It's precious. And I'm already mad he wasted what he
precious.
did, but I couldn't imagine if like it had gone on
longer.
forever. Oh my God, I would have been pissed. Then people have gone through relationships like that for years. Years of their life wasted by pieces of shit. I couldn't do it.
Bro, I just got chills.
Oh God, years.
I just got chills. Could
years.
you imagine?
No, I couldn't. I would be. I mean, let's be fair. I wasted years.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I can because I did it, but not with a military man.
But it wasn't with. Could you imagine?
Years. Fucking years. Absolutely not. That would piss me.
Bro.
That would piss me off. So I can see why military men are definitely red flags. Sorry. Thank you for serving our country.
Yes. We appreciate that.
We appreciate you serving our country. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I just won't date you.
But some of y'all.
And they think they can. I feel like maybe they think they can get away with it because they are serving our country.
Is that what you think that's like?
Maybe it is.
Maybe it's fucking out there risking my life. Least you
can do is let me cheat a little. I'm out there literally saving the U.S.
I am out there saving your freedom.
Freedom. And give me the freedom to let me cheat a little bit.
Damn.
Is
that too much to ask?
Is that not gaslighting or
Jesus.
what? Is that not gaslighting or what?
Jesus.
Let's see. Let's see. Where's my response? Here it is. Okay. So I already said calling themselves alpha males. Not liking dogs. That was one of mine. And I would say that another one for me would be chewing with your mouth open. Yeah, that's gross. Or like getting it all over, like all over. You're just messy. Yeah, I can't do it. If you're eating ribs, that's fine.
So
I get it. Yeah, like that's understandable, messy, right? But like you're eating like, sushi. I feel like it can be pretty clean.
What if they don't know how to use chopsticks?
Red flag.
Red flag if you don't know how to use
red
chopsticks.
flag. Yeah,
oh my God, you're right. Touche, motherfucker. Touche.
That's a red
if you don't know
flag.
how to use chopsticks, that's a huge red flag.
That's done. You're not
That
cultured at all.
Huge red flag.
Who even are you?
Who are you?
Yeah.
You know how to use chopsticks.
Oh, back to the military thing though. So the guy that my ex was awful, right? But there's this guy that literally keeps like pursuing me and I'm not interested in him at all. But he continues and he's part of the Air Force. And people say like, oh, different parts of the military are worse. I'm like, no, they're all bad.
That's that's facts.
Though. So my ex was a Marine. So that makes sense.
I was just about to say, I'd imagine the Marines are the worst.
Marines are the worst. Yeah. I should have known that. And then this one's the
worst at relationships. They're good people.
They're great at serving our country.
Yeah.
But this other guy, hoorah. Oh wait, is it hoorah? Is that how you say it? Or oorah? Oorah. Oh my gosh. Anyways, but he is in the Air Force, and he's always like, I think you're so radiant and amazing, and he's been trying to pursue me for like 6 months. Like he just keeps trying to text me and like whatever. So I'm like, and I as soon as I found out he was in the military, that's why I stopped talking to him, because I was like, I don't know if I can do that. It was real fresh too. Like I don't know if I can get back into that.
Did you tell him that?
Yeah, like I told him, like, look, my ex was in the military.
Does he watch the podcast?
No.
He should.
No, he doesn't
Tell him
watch
to subscribe to our YouTube.
I will. You know what? Let me send him a message right now. But he's just been like, he's like, you're so resilient. And I love your story. I love like all that, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, oh God, he's actually like being kind of nice. But I don't know. And when I told him about the whole situation, he was like, yeah, but it's different. Like for me, like I don't do the same kind of stuff that he probably did or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. I just don't know. Yeah. I don't know. But then it's like, I know. And it sucks because I kind of feel guilty for those types of people that are trying to actually date. And then they're dating women like me who are like fucking hate military men.
Tell them to tell their fucking bros to stop fucking it up for the good ones.
They really should tell them that.
They really should. Yeah. They won't listen though.
No, they really won't.
They really won't.
No, they won't. But those were all of there was so many more. There's so many more. But I just did a couple from everybody that commented. And I wanted to just kind of go over those because I thought those were they were really valid. And a lot of them were ones that I had. I was like, no, that's a red flag. Or ones I didn't that I added to my red flag list. So thank you. I appreciate it. But
that is a good one. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, there's some good ones on there. But like, here's the thing. I like to give everyone a chance. There's just very specific things on the. So let's talk about first date red flags. Like on the first date, you're in person, face to face with them. Like, what is it that they're gonna say to you in conversation? Let's like not the server thing.
First and foremost, if they can hold a conversation.
Oh fuck, say that.
Green flags.
Yeah.
If they can't hold a conversation. Red flag.
What about through text? I know we're talking about in person, but like, what if they can't hold a conversation via text?
If I've done this before, and I've texted women and they never ask a question, and so I'll see how long we can carry a conversation on with neither one of us asking a question, and it's been remarkably long, and it's just so annoying. It's so annoring. Like you don't care. You don't care about me.
You don't want to know anything about me.
You don't care about me. And I've literally done like, you haven't asked me anything.
Yeah.
Or if they're like short, like, okay, cool, da-da-da.
The shortness bothers me. And the not, those are two things, the same things. Those are huge red flags for me.
Huge red flag. That's deal breaker action right there.
I love when.
That's deal breaker action.
When like a guy is like, and I've had a few instances, like not on dates, but like talking to guys like that are like, oh, what about this? Or they're interested in the podcast, or guys that have listened to the podcast because they were interested in the podcast. Like, I think that stuff is like, I love that. I'm like, oh, you care about like something that I'm doing, or you think something I'm doing is interesting or cool. And so, but I've caught myself too, where like, they're so not interesting. They're not an interesting person. They can't hold a conversation. Mm-hmm. I won't ask them any questions because what are they going to say? Like, no. Like, I have to ask like open-ended questions because otherwise I'm just going to get yeses and nos or nopes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Like,
Bye.
just talk to me.
Bye. No, don't even bother.
No, I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, I
agree.
Just talk. Just have, but also, the way of the world now, I feel like we can go back to the whole social media thing. It's the same thing. Like, everything's so quick, right? And you're just trying to like talk.
Communication skills are dying.
It's dying. Yeah, it's dying. And so I feel like I'm surprised I online dated for so long because I'm like, it's the same idea as social media. It's just, you're just doing something quick. It's not intentional at all.
Short form dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do want to we talked about this, but I want to do speed dating. I want to try it.
Ooh, yeah.
I want to try it because you're in person. Yeah. And like, you can see if there's like a vibe. So, but anyway, so you're on a date, first date with this person. What do they say to you that you're like, oh, that's a fucking red flag? What?
Oh, I don't know. Let me think about it.
Like, yeah, because I'm trying to think of like, what could they do? Or what could they do? Like, oh, like something so stupid, like sipping the soup from their spoon, like
super loud.
Yeah, that would be annoying as blowing their nose at the table.
Ooh.
Like I don't like that.
Yeah.
Go like you the farting thing.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. If you're blowing like you have allergies, sniffles, and you're just doing this, that's different. But if you do a full on
just
like,
nose blow,
and that's like at the dinner table while we're
you can't do that.
absolutely not. That would be
you
a
had
red
to
flag.
do that before?
Yes, that's why. Yes, and like the thing is, they were sick, and I was like, why did you?
Yo, excuse yourself.
Like why are you here?
Or cancel.
Trying to get me sick.
He
like,
didn't want to cancel.
You didn't want
on
to
you because
cancel.
he knew how much it would hurt.
He could have rescheduled. Hey, I'm really sick right now. Can we reschedule?
Yeah.
Rescheduling is different than canceling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I don't know. It's just like it's a vibe thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm trying to think of first dates that I've been on.
Yeah.
And ones where I was like, this just isn't it. It was like maybe we had a good time or whatever, but it was just like you're just not my kind of person.
What if they like are like they talk a lot? Like they're just chatterboxes.
If you're talking nonsense, I can't get behind that.
Yeah.
I don't. It has to be purposeful, like meaningful conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of like a lot of small talk.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, cool, whatever. But if we're like out on a first date and it's still just like, oh yeah, what's your favorite color? Or what the fucking.
I'm so fucking over the favorite color question, Ernest. You don't even understand. Like, or what do you do for work? Fucking A, man. I'm so done.
Yeah,
and I understand that those are very vital questions that you need to know. So I'm not like
it's
mad.
It's not very vital.
What do you, not vital, but
work,
like, what do you
sure.
do for work? Like, I like to know if you have a job, like you have a job, cool. Like that's good. Like let's
people
keep
in
that up.
public ask you what you do for work, so they know how to treat you.
Yeah.
So they know how to like, oh, okay, I can respect this person, or how to classify you.
Right.
So people, so what do you do? Oh yeah. Oh, you say this. Okay.
Okay.
So this is how I'm gonna move forward.
Exactly.
When you meet people.
The very first thing I do, like I'm actually talking to somebody right now that like, they were like, hey, I really like enjoy you. You're really great, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, they were saying something along the lines like one moment I want to have kids and like have a family. And then the next moment they're like, I'm not sure what I want. Right. Like they were kind of telling, cause I asked them what they want. Right.
Indecisive.
Right. Well, that's the first red flag. And then the second one was, well, not a red flag. It's not a red flag.
Being indecisive
is a red flag.
Is a red flag.
Yeah.
It is a red
for
flag.
me, when you're not sure what you want. Right. Like for me, I didn't know. Remember when we had the podcast and you were like, what do you want? Like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, as far as dating, I'm like, I actually don't know what I want.
Yeah.
And like, it's not a red flag. It's just like, it is though. Like, you know what I mean? When you're like seeing someone, like if someone was seeing me that was intentional and wanted to date me and I was in that state, that should be a red flag for them. Like, she's indecisive. She doesn't know what she wants yet. I'm going to move.
Wait, what are your red flags?
Yeah. Like, yeah. Mine?
What other red flags do you have?
There's so many.
Are there?
I have a lot.
Do you?
But yeah, I mean, but it's like, it's weird. It's the same thing. It's the vibe, right? Like if there's like a vibe with someone and it's just off, it's not so much a red flag. It's just like, no. But like red flags would be probably things like just not being a nice person. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like
you?
No, me? Oh, what are my red flags?
Yeah.
Oh, like my personal ones. Oh my God, I have so many. No, I'm just joking. Just joking. I do have some though. I would say, I don't know if it's so much a red flag as much as like I have a lot of baggage, like when I go on dates with guys, like they always ask me questions that are like, I'm glad they're asking me, but I'm like not going to lie to them. So they'll be like, when was your last relationship? I'm like, oh, well, I had an ex. But it was only a 4-month relationship, but I was married before. I like to disclose that, because it's important. It's an important piece of information. And then they'll say something like, oh, do you still talk to your ex? Well, let me just share a little story about that, So I end up opening up like so much during my first date, which I'm like, well, they kind of need to know like up front what they'd be getting themselves into. Like there's a lot going on over here, So I would say like it's just not really a red flag, but it's like, hey, are you willing to are they willing to deal with all of the baggage? Yeah.
For sure.
So when you have to deal with a widowed, religiously traumatized person, you might want to think about if that's what you want to deal with.
For sure.
But I don't know if they're red flags. I don't know.
Just depends on the person.
Yeah, exactly. What are your red flags?
Ooh. I feel like my biggest red flag is probably my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. My job is very military-like. And so it attracts those kind of people.
Okay.
And so it would be a red flag
for some
a
people.
woman.
Yeah.
Meeting a man that does what I do.
Yeah.
Should be a red flag.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Oh, so you're telling me that I should never.
No.
Never.
Probably not.
Okay.
No.
Thank you for letting me know that.
It's not a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very few, and it just because it lends itself to emotional detachment and emotional retardation is rampant in my career field because it kind of needs to be.
Yeah. It does.
You need to separate yourself from your emotions to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it makes it hard to be in relationships when you when you lack empathy.
Yeah.
Like I used to. And so I've been there.
Yeah.
And I know what that feels like.
You know what? That's something like my brother went through too in his line of work, and like just like losing his empathy completely. It seems like, and it caused, he was already married before he went into that field. And then when they were engaged, that's when he went into that field, and then they got married, and like it destroyed him as a person as far as his emotions and his depression and all that stuff. Because same thing, like you were saying, you have to detach yourself from the situation. And so then it caused issues in their marriage. And because he couldn't figure out how to be emotional anymore, just everything was like very cut and dry. He was very paranoid. Everything was like awful. Negative Nancy to the and I couldn't imagine seeing what he saw every day. So I was like trying to be understanding, but at the same time I'm like, bruh, you need to go to therapy. And he just didn't. He was one of those guys that just didn't believe in it. And I feel like a lot of people in that field don't believe in it.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very macho, A-type alpha male fucking. It's a toxic environment. It's a toxic environment.
I'd imagine.
For real.
I'd imagine it. So, I mean, I worked closely with them when I was a phlebotomist and stuff. So like I understand and then a lot of military men come from the military and go into those types of fields. So it was very rampant in that, and it was I could see it being very toxic for sure. Okay. So that's a red flag for what would I mean, it's not a red flag, but it would be it is. We're just gonna say it is. It is.
Yeah,
okay.
For sure.
Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Yeah.
Right off the top.
As a friend, I don't think I could think of one. Yeah, you have some green flags.
I took that little thing on Instagram and it said that I was perfect. I was like, touche, you right.
You know, this seems like a red flag to me right here. This seems like a red flag to me. It's one thing to be confident, but I'm just kidding.
Like me now, yeah, I'm
much
squared away.
You're much better than you were
with the education that I've been getting and the therapy and all of the things
because you start to understand yourself and you're like, that's why I'm like this. And I'm like, that's literally the whole point of therapy is literally just to figure out who you are, why you are the way you are, and then moving forward, what you want to be.
Yeah. In the past, I've had many red flags, just my fear of commitment and all of those kind of things, my lack of empathy, huge red flag. If you recognize that a person lacks empathy and they're not willing to work on it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a deal breaker for sure. It should be for everybody.
Yeah.
I don't want to should people, but it should be a deal breaker because lacking empathy is it's just that they don't care about other people's emotions or how other people feel.
Yeah.
Like that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
So that was me. I used to be that way for sure.
So this just popped in my head. What if so this is what I struggle with. What if the person that you're dating is like perfect? Like they just meet all of your emotional requirements, like everything that you would want emotionally, physically they're attractive, everything you want, right? But the sexual compatibility is not there.
I was like gonna like ask you about this, and I don't know about, but sometime.
Yeah.
I was curious myself.
Yeah.
Like, I was gonna ask you, how important is sex?
Oh, so fucking important.
Is it?
To me, it's just so important to have the chemistry and like that sexual compatibility.
This is not a deal breaker.
It's not about being bad at sex. It's about the chemistry you have with the person during sex. So.
Okay. What do you think? But say you guys have chemistry, like you guys are vibing and feeling each other, but they're just bad at the physical act.
It would be hard for me to get past that.
That's tough.
It is, because...
What are you willing to sacrifice? That's the real question.
Yeah, it really is, because how important... Like, and it's like, why is sex so important to you? You know, like...
That was me. Sex was very important before I kind of dealt with my addiction.
Yeah. Is that why you said that I might have an addiction before?
No, you definitely do.
I don't know if that's true. I like it a lot though. I like it a lot. And I like when it's like and who doesn't like good sex? You know what I mean? Like it's good sex for a reason.
Well, some people, it just doesn't, whether it's good or mediocre, it's just like, it's really not that big of a deal. And it's hard to relate because I feel you. Yeah. I feel you because I know like sex is very important to me. It's so important. Even still, it's very important to me.
Yeah.
But I have dated women who it wasn't so important for, and that disconnect was critical.
Yeah.
It was critical. Just not being on the same page as far as that goes.
Like, okay, I guess for me, it's more like, okay, pleasuring you pleasures me, right? So like,
well, yeah, that's
you know what
part
I mean?
of the addiction.
Like, yeah, well, I mean, yeah, also, but like, I want to pleasure you. Like, I would want you to do the same for me because you care about my needs and like what I want, right? So that's why it would be more of like if you just don't want to communicate about what I like at all or what you like, that's not good, right? Yeah. Because like you can be bad, but you can get good if you know what your partner likes, right? Or no, can you not get good?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what part is bad. If it's their physical makeup, it's something that they can't change. Then,
well, okay. Are you talking about penis size?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, yeah. Okay. That's another difficult one for me because I'm like,
could you?
How small are we talking?
I'm saying,
like, I don't know, because they say that
you can't you can't orgasm from penetration.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you can't orgasm from penetration anyway, but you still get something from it. Like it's still.
No, I'm saying like normally, let's just say hypothetically speaking, normally it's not a problem for you to orgasm from penetration. Mm-hmm. But this man, perfect in every way, PP too small, can't make you orgasm from penetration. Deal breaker or nah?
It wouldn't be a deal breaker right away.
Right away? What is that supposed to mean?
What if we communicated and like we could figure other stuff out sexually that I liked that didn't require so much of his pee-pee? You know?
No. What are you talking about? Like going down on you?
Yeah, like that or
okay,
like.
But will that suffice? You could live the rest of your life.
This could go so deep right now.
You can
no
live the
pun
rest
intended.
of your life. You can live the rest of your life with getting mediocre pee-pee.
The way you said it. Well, no, now that you put it that way, I don't want no mediocre pee-pee. No, but I don't know. It's so hard because it sounds so vain.
Huh? It does, doesn't it?
It sounds so vain.
It does.
Because I would never, like, if I was like everything they wanted and they couldn't because of something I did in bed or something that they didn't like and they just didn't communicate, or a physical attribute, that would suck too. Like if they didn't like me physically, but also at the same time, that's important.
Yeah. So what do you do?
You know?
Yeah, it's tricky.
So hard. I've never been, no pun intended. I have never been in that situation, so I don't know. Like, I don't know how that would be for me, but it would be a very difficult decision because a lot of women would be like, "That's I can't do that."
But some women would be okay with it, or some women would just put up with it because that's a man who likes them.
Yeah,
and they're tired of being alone, and
the loneliness.
Oof, and so, like you hear those things, and whether or not they're true, whenever a man breaks up with a woman and she goes, "I faked every orgasm."
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like,
did you?
come on, bro.
We don't know
bro.
if that's true.
Oh my God.
But it's the way to get them. It's the way to like make them feel like they didn't do.
And so, but there's women out there who are willing to pretend to like the sex just to have a companion. And that blows my motherfucking mind.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they don't want to be alone.
That's wild.
I know.
That's
I know. Which is why people
wild.
cheat. Which is why they have affairs.
Wild.
When you can just say, "Hey, I'm not feeling this anymore," or like there's something. Spice it up. Have you seen? There's a show called, I think it's called Making a Sex Room.
That's why it's important to find somebody who's okay with being alone.
Yeah,
That's why that's important.
Yeah, because then they would rather be with themselves than with someone they don't want to really, like commit to.
I would want somebody to not hesitate to break up with me if they seemed if it fit. Like if they didn't want to be with me, I wouldn't want anybody to be with me if they didn't want to be with me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that was.
I mean, that's why I broke up with him. It was very clear that he didn't want to be with me. So I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, why would I want to be with someone that doesn't want to be with me?
And so if somebody's not comfortable with being alone, they would put themselves in that situation to prevent themselves from being alone.
Yep.
So
no.
if you're not okay with being alone, red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag.
Red flag. Or like boyfriend after boyfriend or girlfriend after girlfriend, like immediately after, because you can't be alone. That's a red flag. Yeah. Like that's why I ask about the ex thing. Like when's your last when was your last relationship? It was how, or ask them how's the dating field? Like how have you been doing in the dating field? Like I'm super open about it. How many girls are you dating right now? Like are you like dating around? Because I'm like, we're just talking.
Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah. We're just being real. Why don't we talk about it? Yeah. But sometimes they get uncomfortable. Like a lot of guys will get uncomfortable talking about other girls, like, or that they're dating someone else right now. Like, I'm like, you're not committed to anyone, so why is it a problem?
Mm-hmm. Like, it's just hard. It's hard for men to communicate. Yeah. It's not in our nature.
I know
For some reason, we have a problem communicating.
I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I guess maybe it's because we can be afraid of running the women off, and so we're afraid to say what we want to say or how we feel, or not fuck how we feel. We don't even know how we feel. That's a whole other story.
That's another podcast.
Yeah,
There's so many feelings. We should go through that feeling wheel.
Oh my God!
Eventually,
I love that thing.
That's cool.
I fucking love that.
I didn't know
thing.
that existed.
Yeah.
In fact, we had a podcast where you mentioned it, and then you were supposed to send me a picture of the wheel so that I could put it up, and then we never
I sent it to you though, yeah.
You did? No, you didn't send it to me.
Not then, but I
you sent it to me since, yeah. Or did you? Or I think I saw it on your phone. But regardless, send it to me again, and we can post it so you guys can go through the feelings wheel. Yeah. But if they don't know what the feelings wheel is, it's a red flag. I'm just joking.
No,
they probably don't.
No,
they probably don't know what it is.
No. 0.1% of men know what the fucking feelings wheel is.
You're the only man that knows about the feelings wheel.
I might be the only one.
You're probably it. Yeah. That's it. You're the only one. But I definitely think that the list that was given, I think there's a spectrum of red flag, right? Pink to red, right? We were when we first actually started this podcast or thought about it, one of our name ideas was, what was it? Was it red flag, green flag?
Yeah, something like that.
We were just, which is so funny because it was like, this ended up being a podcast topic.
Yeah.
But we were really into the idea of talking about this from the very, very beginning because it's interesting to see what people's triggers are. Yeah. And what they're not willing to deal with.
Different red flags.
It's so different for everyone.
Yeah, it's very subjective.
It's so
Very
subjective.
subjective.
Because, like you said, someone could be totally okay with having mediocre sex for the rest of their life as long as that person was supporting and loving and everything that they've ever wanted in every other aspect.
It's just not a concern for them.
Yeah, and it's not important for them.
The sex is far down on the list of their, of their importance of the things that they're looking for in a partner.
I don't know what that's like. I wish sex was like further down for me.
If it just didn't matter at all.
Because I feel like it sucks because it really does have to be like a vibe.
It weeds out a lot of people.
Yeah.
And
then a lot of guys are like, they're like, oh, I don't want my women ran through, but yet they want them to be like really good at sex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That literally makes no sense. like, I don't want my women ran through. Okay, so you don't want, like, when with experience, it's like done things that they know will please you. Okay. Mm-hmm. But you want them to be like excellent in bed.
Yeah.
Give you the best head ever. Like, give you like, be the throat goat of the year, but like they've never done it before. So this makes no sense at all. But that's a red flag for them. Like being ran through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ran through.
Yeah. Random, yeah.
Stupid term. Anyway, that's another subject for another day.
We probably got 2 episodes out of this one.
Yeah, honestly, well, it's mostly because we were recording for like 8 hours trying to figure out the camera, but it's fine. But we can wrap this one up because we went through all the red flags that we thought were important to mention. So
I just want to, in closing, for me personally, especially for the women out there, if a man tells you or shows you who he is, believe him. Also, one of my favorite John Mayer songs is Love is a Verb. I might have mentioned this song on this podcast before, but motherfuckers will tell you shit. Mm-hmm. They'll tell you till they're blue in the face how they are, who they are, how much they love you or how they feel about you. Yep. But they have to show you.
Actions.
Don't fucking believe the words, believe the actions. Because love is a verb. That's what I want to close with.
That's what he wants to close with. And what I want to close with is, trust your gut.
I saw a book at Barnes & Noble that said, don't trust your gut. And I was going to pick it up. Yeah, there's a book out there called
I wish I trusted my gut more. Yeah, I wish I did because I really do think I have I really do think I'm psychic. No, I really do think I have like discernment though of people. Like I'm really good at reading people and I ignore it because I think I'm overreacting or I'm wrong, right? Or I'm overthinking something, right? So when I first started dating my ex, that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, oh, he has no red flags. He has no red flags. There's nothing wrong with him. And internally in me, I thought, not having red flags is a red flag because everybody has some sort of toxic trait, right? So, but I didn't want to believe that, right? Mm-hmm. So I feel like I do have a really good discernment of people. Yeah. And I wish that I would trust my gut a little bit more, just trust myself a little bit more with like, I'm reading this book called Untamed, or I read it. It's up there actually. And she talks about, it's called for her, she calls it the knowing. Like it's within her, it's the knowing. It's that it's like intuition. It's hard to like explain to anyone, but that you know about something, and like you have to trust that and like go with it, right? And so,
but it's not 100%.
It's not, and you make risks. You take risks, and like it could be wrong. But a lot of the time, for people that have like are in tune with themselves or in tune with like understanding people, whatever, like they have some good discernment on people, and like trusting your gut works out for them a lot. But you could fuck up, you could mess up on it.
Damn, how do you tell?
I don't know. I don't know how she explains it. She just basically explains it as like, you're just really in tune with your own thoughts and the way your beliefs and your thoughts and everything that you know to be true within you. If something happens, like, what to do. Like you really do know. You just don't want to make the decision right away, or you're feeling some sort of way about it. So I think like for a lot of people that I meet, like as soon as I meet them, I'm like, no, I think I know if I'm going to get along with this person. And I'm always I'm generally correct. Like I'm like, I don't think I'm going to like this person, but I'm going to keep like giving them a chance. Yeah. And then I was right.
Damn.
And then I was fucking right.
At least you give them the chance and they prove you right, and then so be it.
Right. So my closing statement would be just trust yourself. Trust your gut. Like, it may not be right all the time, but it's going to be right a lot. It's going to be right a lot because you've either been through a situation like that before or something's triggered you to make you think something. And then you're like, okay, I need to act on this. So trust your gut.
Interesting.
And no, even though some people say don't trust it.
I'm gonna look at that book and see what it's meant.
It wasn't
to
like
be.
a health book, like it's talking about like gut health.
I didn't pick it up, but I saw it and I was like, I disagree.
I disagree completely. Let me read about it and see why I disagree.
I saw that book. I was like, I disagree.
I disagree with that wholeheartedly. But yeah, so that's all we wanted to go over with you guys tonight. Thank you so much for being so patient with us, guys. I can't explain how much that means to us because we are like, I feel like right now it's it's a going through it moment.
We're growing.
Yeah. And
we got some growing pains.
We got some growing pains, but like the ones that really stick with us and also the ones that mention like, hey, I missed you guys. Like, it feels good.
Yeah, it does.
So thank you. We missed you too. And we're not going to say we won't, but we're really going to try our hardest to get this. Now that we have a space and it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Our space now.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure you guys click that subscribe button, click that little bell next to it so that you guys get notified anytime we have a new video out. You could also find us on Instagram at JezebelAndTheJester, Twitter, JezebelAndTheJest.
Yeah.
And what was the other one that we have? That's it? Instagram, Twitter, and we have TikTok at JezebelAndTheJester. So if you guys want to follow us on all the socials. We know we just talked about how shitty social media is, but don't listen to that. Go follow us. Watch all of our stuff. But we're really glad that you guys are here. And we're really, really thankful for you guys.
We appreciate you.
Yeah. Anything else that you wanted to close with?
Oh, no, I'm good. Yeah.
All right, guys. You guys have a great night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
Bye.